Dr. Kakali Ghosh.
Honorable Sir, I rise.
Come in front.
I am supposed to be a last bencher like the Mr. India, who is not visible. I am sitting behind the pillar.
For that
over
you
there.
have given the front line.
Thank you, sir. Today we have to decide that the urgent requirement of human beings for development and living life the way they want has to be balanced, and it has to be decided whether the environment that is doing so much for us, whether we want to protect it and maintain good life, or we want to sacrifice the environment. Though the particular incident that troubled air passengers all over the world just last week is not directly related to any of our misdoings, but millions of passengers had to suffer, which included our Honorable Prime Minister. A kind of a gas polluted the atmosphere such that aircrafts had to be grounded, and we have been very lucky to avoid accidents, mid-air collisions and loss of life. Important to most of us is the living standard of human beings and those who are living off the forests. We have to give recognition to their right to live as they want, as their forefathers have done. The people in the forests, they have been living off the forests for time immemorial. Their forefathers have shown them the path how to live in the forest using the facility that is available to them. But today their life is being endangered by poachers, by cultivators of higher castes who are coming into the forests, and by corporate houses who are trying to aim at the minerals that are hidden in the different forest areas, in the hilly areas. Environment has to be protected. Now, we are not criticizing the action against the Adivasis who are up in arms against the state. We are not in favor of armed revolution. We are not in favor of killing of human beings and the politics of murder. But we also have to recognize their demands. Their forefathers had taught them that forest was their land. Whether they want to live in the forest or get modernized and live in cities, that human right has to be appreciated and given to them. And there lies the fine line that we have to draw, and we have to, on the one hand, protect the animals in the forest, we have to protect the flora and fauna, we have to protect the human beings who've been living off the forest for millions of years now, and on the other hand, we have to balance and bring forward developments. As we have done in the past, our great nation has brought the life expectancy during independence, just after independence, from 43 years of age to today where it stands at 67 years of age. It's a fine balance. Before this time, two other regulations had been brought forward, but the one brought in 1995 could not be brought forward and it could never be set up. And then the 1997 National Environment Appellate Authority was also brought forward, but it became defunct. Now the different courts under the Article 32 and 226 of our Constitution, it gives wide powers to the different courts to protect the environment, but keeping in mind today's scenario in which the water resources is getting depleted, the mountains are on the sly being burst open by corporate houses for the bauxite held within the core of the mountains and hills, and the deforestation that is being brought forward by different corporate houses and the poachers killing the natural habitat. The human beings who are living within these areas are endangered. Not only that, the environment is so polluted that very soon we will be having huge landslides, we will be having deluge like the ones given in scriptures in which Noah floated his ark, and we will also be having no resource for making electricity, or we will not have enough water to water the farmlands, and agriculture will be deprived, agricultural products will fall, and there might be a war for food and water. And there lies the necessity for this National Green Tribunal in whose favor I stand today. There were certain comments by the department related standing committee and the Ministry of Science and Technology, and it is heartening to note that the suggestions have been incorporated. In the original bill, a section had been there in which the central government had the discretion to allow different dates for different sections to come into force. The amendment says that on such date as the central government may by notification in the official gazette appoint the amendments, the act shall come into force and it shall apply to the act in toto. In other words, the entire act will come into force at once and not separately. It also states regarding the number of members, the original bill was silent on this, but now it says qualified number of members present should be not less than 10. Likewise, there are other amendments that have been brought forward and accepted, and how it stands today, the National Green Tribunal Bill should be brought forward, should be supported, should be brought into effect to protect the requirement of not only the forest dweller, but the perpetrators should be brought to book. And the meeting held in Rio under the auspices of the United Nations has given it the right that pollute and pay. So any corporate house or any perpetrator against our mother environment can be brought to book by this bill. So I support it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Shri M.